What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm just gonna talk about sometimes in life you have to be a leader, right? I guess well it depends how you look at it. So it could be most of the times you could be a leader, and sometimes you got to be a leader, right? So again, it depends on the situation and depends how you look at it, right? So let's get to it. So the reason why I say this is because at least for, yeah, at least for me, right? So and you might relate to this as well. But as you're going through life, um, sometimes you're gonna like you're gonna come across a lot of people who, for some reason, they're not going to fit your specific needs, and I guess that's normal. But what I'm talking about is that like if you're coming across people who lack the proper communication skills, or who they just lack they just lack proper leadership skills, where like they're not considerate of you. They're not considerate of how you're feeling, or they're not considerate of how you're understanding certain directions and guidelines. Like if you're dealing with very poor leadership, or it's people who don't really give a shit but their own needs, or like they expect you to know everything from the jump, and like you're too fucking lazy to even be concerned about what you do or don't know, or they have for some reason they have like a very short attention span, or they just forget a lot of things, then I guess this video is for you. So like, you know, when shit like this happens, sometimes you just gotta put your foot down and you just gotta say fuck it. Like I'm tired of like people not giving me the direct proper directions. I'm tired of people not like I can't explain this because I could go on and on about like so much examples and shit. So I might seem I'm all over the place, but like it could be, let's use a job example, right? So if they're not like, let's say you're dealing with a manager or a group of coworkers, it could be anyone, any position, right? Let's say you're fresh on the job and like you got no experience, and like for some reason these fucking coworkers and the managers, they're not good at communicating with you on how to like do certain things on that job. Like they're not teaching you how to do like basic shit on how to like do good at the job. Like let's say for example, I'm gonna use a very dumb example, right? But let's just use Subway for example, right? Let's say you're working at Subway, right? And you're fresh from the job, and like let's just say like your coworkers or your manager, they're not. Oh, my nose itchy, bro. But fuck. Every time I make a video, my nose gets fucking itchy. Like what the fuck, man? Like sorry about that. Um, but like let's say you're new on the job, right? Fuck. And then your coworkers or your manager, for some reason, they're not giving you like proper directions, or they're not like you expect more out of them because you're new from the job and you want them to fucking teach you, right? But one, let's just say they have a shitty attitude, they're just assholes, or they just don't give a fuck, like, and they're not teaching you shit. And then when you fuck up, or when you keep messing up your orders, or how to make sandwiches, or how to fucking do certain shit on the job, then they want to get mad at you. But in reality, it's actually their fucking fault. They're the ones that lack communication skills, and they lack leadership skills. Most importantly, they when it comes to being a leader, or developing become a leader, or having good leadership qualities and skills, you have to have good communication skills. No, I'm not saying you have to be great at it, but like you have to at least you have to have a lot of empathy. You have to like understand the people you're leading. You have to understand what they're struggling with and the things they're having trouble with. So how the fuck, if you lack empathy, you're not gonna know. If you lack empathy, of course, you're not gonna feel what the guys are leading feeling. You're not gonna know their struggles. You're not gonna know if they know what they're doing. You gotta have empathy. You just gotta give a fuck. You just gotta give a shit, man. You just gotta care what the people you're leading. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have empathy. You gotta understand. Like okay, maybe is he too overwhelmed? Is he feeling too anxious? Is he feeling too like is he feeling a lot of anxiety? Like, is he stressed out? This and that. So that's the type of shit you gotta like be considerate of. And not only that, but please, if you're gonna lead people, observe them, man. Observe them. Like, understand what they're having. Understand their struggles, their strengths, their weaknesses. Always check up on them to see if they know what. what they're actually fucking. They know what they're doing. I'm not saying like harass them or be on their ass 24/7, but always check up on them, like train them or quiz them or test them. And if you see certain areas they're struggling with, then it doesn't hurt to fucking work with them. All my life, like I'm always around like just people who lack communication skills, who lack fucking leadership skills. Now, I'm guilty of this too, because there are times where like I fail or I lack to communicate properly towards my leadership, or it could be at any job. I'm talking about all my experience with jobs. Not everyone, but most people. I'm talking about all the jobs I worked at. It's just everything in the workforce, right? Like I'm always around people who, one, they have a shitty attitude. They're very fucking disrespectful. They're very like emotionally, like they're very emotional, and like they lack a lot of patience. And can you tell when you're talking to someone, you're asking for help? You could tell like they're all agitated or like they feel angry and shit. It's their fucking demons acting up, man. Because they're fucking shitty people, and that's one of the reasons why they're not going anywhere in life. And this is where you get your average human being, your average person. Most people don't want to be great in life. Most people don't want to go far, and that's all right. Some people were destined to be shitty, and this is why we have so much toxic families. We have so much dysfunctional families. We have people who just ain't shit, and they're not satisfied with life, and then they're trying to bring other people down. People who actually want to go somewhere, people who actually want to go far in life. I don't care what age you are. I don't. Age doesn't fucking matter. Yes, age may restrict you from doing certain things, but at the end of the day, you can always change your life at any age. I know you heard this before, but it's true. So don't let age stop you. And have self compassion for yourself too. Like if you feel like you've done things that you've regretted, or like done things where you feel like you weren't your best version at, just don't even trip about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just put your head down and keep moving forward. Like dust yourself off. Always self reflect. Shout out to New Mind Frame. She always mentions always self reflect. Always do the shadow work. Always look in the mirror. This and that. And it is important because like with New Mind Frame, with her channel, her her channel is dedicated to healing and self-reflecting and becoming more self-aware, right? And I feel like that's one of the keys to living a fulfilling life, because if you're the more self-aware you are, not to the point where you're overthinking, but if you're more self-aware, then the more you can fucking like just be aware of your toxic ways, more aware of like the things you're lacking. You can be more aware of your communication skills or the things you need to work on. And the more self-aware you are, like individually, then the more you can help other people, in my opinion. And I feel like that one makes a great leader, being very self-aware, having empathy, and just learning how to switch up, I guess, but not in a bad way, like in a way where like I mean, when it comes to a leader, like obviously you can have different types of personalities, or like some people have different types of personalities, so there's no right or wrong, I guess. It's got to adjust. Some people are a bad fit, but more so just becoming a leader in general, you have to have basic things. And the basic things, in my opinion, are communication skills. You gotta have empathy. You gotta have understanding. You gotta be very self-aware. And honestly, that's pretty much it. Because you know how people learn differently. Some leaderships are more aggressive. Some people are more passive. This and that. It's cool, but as long as you're self-aware, as long as you have a lot of empathy, as long as you have a lot of understanding and I forgot the list I just made. But you got to give a shit and you got to care. You got to love what you're doing. Even if you don't love what you're doing, you got to give a shit. And this is where your understanding comes from, and empathy. Because if you know what it's like for someone, or if you know what it's like to struggle at a job, or if you know what it's like to not know what you're doing, then that's a basic understanding. That's basic empathy. And you know how painful and isolated and lonely that feels to struggle, the painful experiences. If you have that understanding and that empathy, then therefore you could help other people because you know what it's like, and it's not a good feeling, right? So therefore, you don't want people you're leading to experience those type of feelings, and therefore it's going to make you help that person out even more. So it just all depends how you look at it. It depends your qualities, but these are definitely the basic things you need to lead people and shit, right? I know this video is all over the place, it's off topic. This video wasn't pre-planned. I'm just speaking from my experiences and from my intuition, right? But yeah, but like me, like I'm just fed up, man. I come across a lot of people who, and again, it's my fault too. I feel like it's my fault too. I mean, at least I play a role because I feel like there are times where like I fail to communicate with people and how to help me with certain things. But at times I'm like, bro, you should already know this because people they always put me in situations where they expect me to know everything, or they always put me in situations to where like they just lack communication skills, man. I give so many examples, but like I don't want to overshare or put my business out there. But like it's just basic shit, and I'm just like, bro, how do you not know this? How are you not aware of like what you're supposed to do? You know, like all these are like managers and fucking leaderships or just coworkers. Especially when I'm new, like they're just assholes. Like they, I don't know, man. This shit like this pissed me off because like I know what it's like to be around shitty people. I know what it's like to be around people who don't know how to give proper fucking directions, man. This shit always happens. Like this shit's annoying. Like I'm swear, like people are very shitty. People they don't got shit to offer. I'm not talking about everyone, but most people. At least how I view. I feel like people are useless in a way because like when I interact with people from day to day basis, I don't feel connected to them, or they always talk about shit I don't even give a fuck about, or like they're just like or how they teach me like it's crazy because when I'm new to like a job setting or it could be any setting, yeah, actually no, it could be a job setting I guess. Actually no, like even from family members because like damn this shit gets deep because like I feel like God the one of my main purposes is to have a lot of understanding and empathy for people. So I feel like God put me here to experience a lot of stupid fuck shit and dumbass shit from people who lack empathy, who lack leadership skills, who lack understanding. Like I came from family members who are very fucking stupid. Like none of my family members taught me how to drive a car. Like, I remember I was 19 after high school. I didn't even have a social security card. I mean, I did, but like, I mean, of course I had social security because I was born in America. But like, what I mean, like, I didn't have the certificate. I didn't even have a state ID, and like, I didn't even have a driver's license. So I was 19, and like, then I had to keep begging and telling my mom, "Yo, me and my fucking brother, listen, we need our fucking social because at the time I was trying to join the military, right?" When I was 19. But in order for you to join the military, you need your social security card, you need your state ID, and it's not very important, but sometimes you need a driver's license, right? Me, unfortunately, I'm 25 now, but like I never managed to get my driver's license, but I still made it to military, so it's not mandatory, but like it will help a lot. But you definitely do need your birth certificate. Without, well, I already had that. Wait, did I already? Um, I'm not sure if I even had a birth certificate or no. So like it's crazy, right? So like, well, at least I well before I was telling my mom, yo, I need my social security card and I need my state ID and I need my driver's license and I need my I think I'm not remember I think I need my birth certificate, right? And like me and my mom, like we'll argue all the time. Like she'll give me a very hard ass time because I was on her ass. I was on her shit. I was like, yo, we need our shit. And I feel like kids, or at least young adults, they have it so hard, especially if they have shitty parents. A lot of people don't understand what it's like to be raised by dysfunctional, stupid family members who lack a lot of knowledge and intelligence and emotional intelligence. What I've learned from dealing with toxic family members is that like a lot of people, they're not very smart. Like a lot of people, like I'm talking about not yes, my family members too, but I'm talking about different people because like I've dealt with police, I've dealt with the cops, and like whenever I'll tell them about my situations and shit when it comes to family fights, domestic violence, like physical violence and verbal violence and shit, they don't understand what I'm not sure. I think they do understand because me, I know how to explain myself. Trust me, I do. I may seem I'm all over the place, but like, especially when I'm pissed, like when I'm angry, yes, I'll fucking over explain. I'll explain myself very very fucking good. I feel like I'm not good at communication, but I feel like I have a talent when it comes to communication. I just got to work on it. But when I'm pissed, yes. But basically, there are times where I'll talk to the police officers or the cops about my situation, and they just seem like it seems like they never pick my side. And I'm not telling them to pick my side, but like I don't know, man. They just I personally believe because they view me as like a young adult or a fucking teen, right? And they're probably thinking like, oh, he's just a typical teen being rebellious or having issues with his family. Let's not focus too much on him. Instead, let's focus on the family because I feel like they're more focused on what I'm doing than what my family's doing, and that shit gets annoying. Like they just don't understand, or like my opinion, I feel like people in general they can only they're the same. They people can only understand from the things they've experienced or from the things they've been through. So of course they're not gonna know what it's like to be raised or be part of from a dysfunctional, toxic family who's very stupid, who are very controlling and very narcissistic. If people aren't put into these environments or situations, of course they're not going to know what it's like to be put into that situation, into like the power, into like the power, like the power control, like just I don't know, man. But I know I'm all over the place, but you see how all this ties in, how on what it takes to be a good leader. Like you had to have understanding, you had to have empathy, and you had to have communication, and just you had to give a shit, you know. But oh, and also you have to be self-aware too. It's very important to be self-aware, and that's why you have channels. I mean, that's why you have like therapists, therapy, or you have YouTube channels as well, like New Mind Frame. Her channel, she talks about becoming self-aware, the importance of doing shadow work and healing you from like narcissistic abuse or healing your inner child wounds because it's so important. Because, well, first off, if you're not self-aware or if you don't do the healing work, and shout out to New Mind Frame as well, if you don't do that, then of course you're gonna cause hell in people's lives pretty much. Now, me, I'm not saying I'm an angel because I'm also guilty of like causing hell in people's lives. But like, I feel like with me, it's not intentional. I just there are times where I'm just ignorant, but there are times where like I have fucked up because we're all human. Again, I'm not justifying what I'm doing. We're all human, so of course we're all gonna make mistakes. We're all gonna make bad decisions, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if as long as you're aware, as long as you're trying to change your ways, then that's all that matters, and that's part of life, right? But I'm talking about people who just refuse to change their ways, or just very stubborn and stuck up, and like that's a problem I have, you know. Like I hate that shit, you know. And I understand, like as human beings, we're all stubborn, we're all stuck up in our own different ways. But I'm talking about when it gets to the point where it's harming people, that's a fucking problem, you know. That's the things you need to get fixed. You know, I mean, and me included, I'm still working on that. There's still stuff I need to work on where I feel like I'm harming myself and I'm harming other people, which I gotta fix. You know, where just I feel like it's communication skills or just confidence, just shit like that. You know, or it's overthinking or like just or not doing proper healing work. I think that's me, but that's a shit I need to work on. But anyways, where was I? Um, yeah, but I feel like God or the universe, they'll put me or at least for my life purpose, I feel like God will put me through a lot of bullshit, annoying situations to where I'm dealing with people who aren't as self-aware or who aren't as understanding. And therefore, I'm always put in a position too where I always got to over communicate or I always got to over explain myself because people didn't never give me the specific directions or they never give me like proper structure when it comes to work settings and shit. So I'm always in a situation where I have to figure shit out on my own, you know. And this is why I'm always like self-studying, reading a lot of books and shit. First of all, I like doing that. But second, the reason why I do that is because I have to do it because I think unconsciously I'm aware that like people are very shitty when it comes to like teaching and like becoming a leader or having basic leadership skills. People are very shitty at that. At least the people I'm around with, because because you never know. God might put you through certain situations to throw bullshit at you. There could be billions of great people who know how to teach and know how to lead people, right? But for some reason, God will instead put you in a situation where you're full of stupid asses, dumbass people who don't know how to teach, or the exact opposite. For you could grow, so you can grow and self elevate, right? At least that's what I believe in. For me, I feel like there are people that are a good fit for me, but instead, God will place people in my life that are a bad fit for whatever reason, I don't know. More than likely, so I can heal and evolve. But at the same time, this shit does get annoying. You know, I look at shit from a spiritual perspective, you know. But I know I'm all over the place, but yeah, where, where the fuck was that? I don't even like making YouTube videos. I do like making YouTube videos. I don't like oversharing. I'm a very private person, like in real life. But the reason why I make a YouTube channel is one, so I can make fucking money. Two, I feel like if God, like I'm always in a situation where God has put me through bullshit, right? So I might as well speak up on it. But not only that, but like I don't like being known by people. Like I rather keep shit to myself. But again, the reason why I make a YouTube channel is one, so I can make money because we live in a corrupt fucking system where you can't even do shit without money. So, and I understand there's different ways to make money, but like I rather do YouTube because I feel like I'm more naturally talented or skilled at like just telling stories or like just talking about my struggles or like my life experiences and some self help. So I feel like I'm naturally talented at that. So that's one of the reasons why. But I like it though. Yeah, it's pretty fun too. It's kind of healing too. I just want to make it like a therapy shit. But it is what it is. Not only that, but how I look at it too. If God is gonna put me through some bullshit, I might as well just roll with the punches, right, and just put myself out there. I guess, even though I don't really want to, but you know. But where was I? But yeah, I feel like um, God puts me through. God puts me around like a lot of like people who I just don't like who I feel like don't know how to teach. So like, therefore, I gotta learn how to teach myself and shit. You know, it's how it is. And this shit does get annoying, but it's part of life. You know, we all experience stupid shit and bullshit when it comes to this world. That is how God designed his life to be, or the human experience to be. It is what it is. But I feel like the reasons why we experience it so we can overcome it. You know, but this shit does get annoying. You know, I have a problem with that. But yeah, I don't know what this video is about. I lost topic. I don't know why I made this video. But, oh yeah, but sometimes you're gonna have to lead yourself. If you yourself, if you feel like no matter what, people aren't giving you basic directions or they don't know how to fucking teach you or they don't know or they just don't give a fuck, you're around people who don't really give a shit. The only that's the thing. People are only they only give a shit about themselves mostly. And there's nothing wrong with that, but if you're at a work setting or if you're trying to lead people, you have to give a shit about other people as well. Just give a fuck, man. And if you don't, you're a piece of shit and I hope karma comes and bite and fucking bitch slaps you too, man. You know, I'm talking about like if you refuse to help people or if you refuse to give people the proper information and amount of knowledge that you know, but instead you just want to hide it for your own power so you can or for your own gain. I hate that shit. All the information you know, you have to share it to people to help people. I'm not talking about any information. I'm talking about like you guys know what I mean, but people are dumb. They don't know what the fuck I mean. So like at a job situation, if you know so much shit, right? Why not just help other people? You know, why do you got to keep all the information to yourself? And people do that so they can move up in life, so they can like get on top of the ladder. And I hate these types of people. I never understood that. And this is why it's important to have empathy and basic understanding of who you're leading and shit. You know, but this is how it is. You know, people are like that. You know, and it's because of the society, because of this world, because you can't do shit without money. So it forces people to be corrupt. And I'm guilty of this too. There are times where like I've done things I regret, and I'm not justifying my actions or my behaviors, but in this world we live in this society, like, it's so fucking controlling, and so, not sometimes, but like at times you have to do shit, or at least it tempts you to do shit that's very like things you wouldn't naturally do, you know. And this is why where you get your jobs where like people don't want to be at, but they're forced to. There's all this stupid shit, man. Um, what else? And money has a huge influence too, because and we all know this. Like we all do things we don't want to do because of money, and there's nothing wrong with that because if if a species is being controlled by fucking paper and they can't do shit without it, it's part of their survival. Yeah, of course you're gonna have to do something you don't want to do so you can survive. You know, some people have families, some people have kids. You know, just shit like that, man. We live in a very weird world, but I don't know, man. It's very complicated. Life is very complicated. You know, I'm not saying I hate this world or situation, but what I'm saying is that like things could be so much better. But at the same time, I am grateful, and I do have a lot of gratitude to where I'm at in life. You know, but I am, believe it or not, it may seem like I'm negative, but like I love my situation. I love the challenges, and I'm thankful. I love the people I'm around with too. Like I'm thankful of who I'm around with because I learned a lot from people, um, and I have cool friends. They're very fucking cool. I love hanging out with them. They're very fucking funny. And when I, yeah, as much shit I talked about people about my bad experiences, with people I also have good people in my life, in person and online. So it's a duality thing, I guess. But yeah, man. But basically, yeah. But when life like when you're around people who don't know how to fucking who are just pieces of shit and they just don't give a fuck, you're not going crazy. It is confirmation that yes, you're gonna have to self-study. You have to self-educate yourself. You have to go within. You know, you have to look answers, and of course, you can ask help from everyone. If a group of people or a specific person they're not giving you the right information or they're not helping you properly, that it doesn't hurt to ask different people. You know, in person. It doesn't hurt to ask. That's why you always got to improve your communication skills. So you always got to ask different people what you need help with, and avoid the people that aren't helping you, right? And again, but if that doesn't work, then try to do a lot of research. Try to order books or like read books like relating to your job or to your situation. Watch a lot of videos. And just try to look for guidance. Pray if you have to. Pray to God and just do whatever you got to do to find proper information. You know, or just keep trying new things. You know, you gotta do whatever it takes to find proper information when it comes to like knowing about shit. You could apply to anything. You can apply for a job. You can apply for driving a car. You can be applying for like communication skills. You can be applying for like just life in general. Like this can be applied to anything. You know, even with God or the Creator, they could put you through a lot of stupid bullshit situations, right? And now it's up to you to like to figure out your purpose or to make your own purpose and to give your own reasons on why you're here and the reasons why and why to keep living here. You know, why like to keep yourself motivated to keep living in this shitty ass piece of shit corrupt world. You know, to give yourself that self drive, that self motivation, and that what's that word? Resilience to keep living in life, even though you'd rather not be here in this world. And you know, he's got to be your own boss. You got to be your own fan, and you got to be your own leader. You know, and that's how life is, man. So sometimes you're gonna come across a lot of like weird, shitty people who lack skills or qualities that you really desire and look for in a person because you yourself have these types of qualities that you look for in other people. But for some reason, you're not around people who have the good qualities and the desired qualities that you have. So this is why you have to become your own leader at times. Some people you might have to become your leader every fucking time, you know, and it's bullshit. I understand, like I get it. Like this video is confirmation that like you're not going crazy. Like it just sucks, and I know it's frustrating, and it's a very lonely and isolating experience too. Like damn, like am I the only one that's like this? Why do I feel the same? Am I even sane? Am I going crazy? And no, you're not going crazy. You're just around very shitty people, you know. This is a random video. I don't know what to title this shit, but yeah, just more of the story is sometimes you gotta lead yourself. You have to like put your foot down, and you gotta take charge. And just don't let people hold you back too. Like, and don't take it personal. Yes, it depends how you look at it. You can't take it personal. Or you don't. You can take it personal and use that anger to your drive to your fuel, or you could not take it personal and just dust yourself off. Don't worry too much about it and just and lead yourself, you know, because people react in different ways, you know. and people get motivated in different ways. So it's just use what motivates you, you know, and that's how you got to look at it, you know. But yeah, but again, moral of the story, just sometimes you got to put your foot down because you got to lead yourself. You got to take charge of yourself, you know, and keep having faith and keep putting yourself out there and keep communicating and just keep fighting regardless of people who aren't helping you, you know. And don't forget to be self-aware. Make sure you do a lot of healing work and like know about your strengths and your weaknesses, and also just gotta know yourself and always check yourself. Make sure you yourself aren't projecting like your bad qualities towards other people or your insecurities or the things you're not good at. You know, be very mindful of that. Make sure you're not projecting and like there is help out there. People are smart out there. Well, this video is more specifically about if you're around dumb people. And yeah, I'm out. Peace.